Some people believe that individuals are responsible for their own health and happiness, while others argue that government should take a more active role in promoting the well-being of their citizens. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Here is a Band 9 model essay on this topic. Listen carefully, because after the essay, we will break it down together so you understand exactly what makes it Band 9 quality. If you are new here, subscribe now. This channel will help you improve your IELTS band score. The Band 9 model essay. Who bears greater responsibility for human well-being, the individual or the state? This question sits at the heart of modern public health debates, and the answer, as this essay will argue, lies not in choosing one side, but in understanding how both must work together. Those who champion individual responsibility make a compelling case rooted in personal freedom and self-determination. Lifestyle choices, what we eat, how much we exercise, whether we smoke, are ultimately decisions that only the individual can make. Proponents of this view argue that when people are held accountable for their own health, they are more likely to develop the discipline and resilience that lead to lasting well-being. There is also a fiscal dimension to this argument. A society of self-reliant individuals places a lighter burden on public health systems, freeing government resources for infrastructure, education, and other national priorities. However, this perspective overlooks a critical reality. Not everyone begins life on equal footing. Governments command the legislative authority and financial capacity to address the structural conditions that shape health outcomes long before any individual makes a single choice. The proven success of tobacco control policies illustrates this point vividly. In countries where governments imposed steep excise taxes and comprehensive advertising bans on cigarettes, smoking rates fell dramatically. Outcomes no individual acting alone could have produced. Beyond lifestyle policy, governments are uniquely positioned to guarantee access to clean water, affordable nutrition, and quality healthcare, particularly for citizens living in poverty. Without such systemic support, personal responsibility becomes a privilege available only to those who can already afford it. In my view, framing this as a binary choice fundamentally misrepresents the issue. Individual agency and government responsibility are not competing forces. They are complementary pillars of a functioning society. Governments must invest in accessible healthcare infrastructure, robust public health education, and targeted financial assistance for the most vulnerable. Meanwhile, individuals must recognize that no policy can substitute for the cumulative effect of daily personal choices. In diet, in physical activity, in the management of stress and mental health. In conclusion, sustainable well-being cannot be achieved by individuals acting in isolation, nor by governments legislating without regard for personal autonomy. Only when both work in concert, the state providing the conditions, the individual making the choices, can a society truly flourish. Essay breakdown. Now let us look at what makes this essay Band 9 quality, starting from the introduction. The opening sentence asks a direct rhetorical question. Who bears greater responsibility for human well-being, the individual or the state? This immediately signals sophistication. Instead of a generic paraphrase of the question, the writer reframes it with academic precision. The phrase sits at the heart of modern public health debates, positions the topic in a real-world intellectual context. And crucially, the thesis does not hedge. It declares a clear position while signaling that the essay will engage with both sides. That clarity of position is non-negotiable at Band 9. Now look at the body paragraphs. The first body paragraph presents the pro-individual view. But notice how it is not simply listed, it is argued. The phrase, "a compelling case rooted in personal freedom and self-determination," tells the reader exactly what logical foundation this view rests on. Then the paragraph builds, from personal choices to accountability and resilience to the fiscal argument. Each sentence extends the previous one. This is called logical cohesion, and it is one of the clearest markers separating Band 7 essays from Band 9 essays. If this is already clearer than what you have been writing, hit the like button. It helps me grow and produce better videos for you. The second body paragraph counters the first, but does not simply dismiss it. The phrase, "This perspective overlooks a critical reality," is a masterclass in academic concession and rebuttal. The writer acknowledges the opposing view has merit before surgically identifying its blind spot. The tobacco policy example is specific, evidence-based, and analytically framed, not just mentioned, but interpreted. The sentence, "outcomes no individual acting alone could have produced," lands the point precisely. And the closing observation, that personal responsibility becomes a privilege for those who can already afford it, adds a layer of socio-economic nuance that examiners reward immediately. The opinion paragraph does something many candidates fail to do. It integrates the writer's view into the argument rather than simply restating both sides. The phrase, "complementary pillars of a functioning society," is an original metaphor that synthesizes the two positions elegantly. This paragraph also avoids the common trap of being vague. It specifies what governments should do and what individuals must do in parallel structure. That parallel structure is not accidental. It signals grammatical range and rhetorical control simultaneously. The conclusion is tight and purposeful. It does not introduce new ideas, but it does more than summarize. It delivers a final image. The state providing the conditions, the individual making the choices. This is called a synthetic conclusion, and it leaves the examiner with a clear, memorable impression of the writer's argument. Let us also talk about vocabulary. Phrases like legislative authority, fiscal dimension, systemic support, cumulative effect, and personal autonomy are not used for decoration. Each one carries precise meaning that a simpler word could not convey. This is what Band 9 lexical resource looks like. Not rare words for the sake of it, but the right words used with full control. Everything reads naturally while demonstrating mastery. That combination of naturalness and complexity is the hallmark of a Band 9 writer. To summarize, a Band 9 essay has a clear and precise thesis. It argues rather than lists. It uses specific evidence and interprets it. It integrates the writer's opinion analytically. It uses vocabulary with precision and grammar with range. And it reads as a coherent, flowing argument from the first sentence to the last. Work on your next practice essay with these principles in mind, and you will already be writing at a higher level than most candidates. See you in the next video.